This is a guy named Greg, normal guy, wasn't a businessman, wasn't an entrepreneur. He came to me a few years ago because he didn't want to work for somebody anymore. He ended up buying a franchise in one of the most unsexy, boring industries you could think of. Last month, he did $160,000. He ranks 1 or 2 out of the franchisees in the system. He came back and bought 2 more territories last week on top of the territories he bought a couple of years ago. And here's why this matters right now more than ever. Spirit Airlines, who just went bankrupt overnight, thousands of pilots, flight attendants, and ground crew thought they had stability, and now they're looking for a job. There's a new virus in the headlines. Maybe you're the next layoff at your company. You don't even know it. The W-2 is not the safety net you thought it was. Greg figured that out before he was forced to. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through exactly how he got there, what unsexy business he picked, and what his life looks like today. Let's get into it. Greg was in corporate America for, I want to say, 25 years plus and got laid off. When he got laid off, I'm sure it wasn't his first rodeo being laid off. And I think most of my candidates I work with have been laid off multiple times, and they get fed up at the end. Being 56 years old, you're not going to get that income replacement that you had when you were in your 40s. So that safety net's not there. Greg's a great guy. Greg is a really good communicator. He's the kind of guy called the beer test you'd love to go out and have a beer with, has a family, just a very social guy, and is a great brand ambassador for his business. The first movie came to me, I turned him on to a funding partner of ours for a 401k or an IRA rollover. He started that because that took about 30 or so days, and he was very intentional to change his life. So Greg was one of my clients who actually knew what he wanted to do and did it instead of fear setting in. So he was very intentional on doing something, and he looked at a couple of options and he chose the one at the end of the day. So he wanted to start something for himself right away because he got let go. He knew he didn't want to be working for somebody else. He started literally in about 35 days. So he was very quick to get through the process, start talking to franchisees to validate that this was a good concept for him, leadership calls with the founders who matched him and approved the franchise to give him the territory. So he was very intentional and really went through this quickly. And he was with an emerging brand at the time that only had about 10 locations. Now they have 200. So pointing towards home services, a couple things. When you're trying to get income as fast as possible in a lower investment, people tend to go that route. Hence, I've been in it 7 times in home services and 7 different verticals. And not by mistake. I've done it because of the investment is low and I knew I was going to get my money back. So people who want to make that income replacement quick, generally that's where they lean, because in retail, it's going to take probably at least 6 to 12 to 18 months to even get the business started. Yeah, so I showed him a couple of home service brands. I typically show about 3 to my candidates after we do a strategy call and lean into those brands. And they go through the whole process by talking to franchisees, founders, looking at unit economics, going through marketing calls and operational calls to kind of lean into which brand they want. He leaned into Voda, which is a cleaning and restoration company, which is a service of need, and it's not a service of convenience. And they also do cleaning services for flooring and upholstery and carpet and stuff like that. So day to day, Greg was the brand ambassador of the brand. He's not getting down and cleaning water or cleaning carpets. He's directing a technician that he hired initially. He's the brand ambassador for that brand, maybe doing chamber of commerce meetings, BNI meetings, which is a networking function, and just doing partnership relationships with like plumbers, realtors to have people recognize his business in the community. So Greg was at the emerging brand of Voda. They literally just had about, I think, maybe 5 or 10 franchisees. He may have been even the second franchisee. I'm not quite sure, but he was really an emerging guy and a pioneer of this brand and is at the top of the franchise system. So generally, a lot of people, they see that as a risk. Greg saw that as an opportunity, as I do, in an emerging brand, because you get to choose the turf, you get a bet more territory, and you get most likely a little bit more from the franchisor for your money for the franchise fee. When I told him about the name Voda, he said, I don't like that. It doesn't make sense. And I said to him, take a look at this. This is going to be a running brand that's going to have over 200 locations, which they do now. And the reason I like it is because it's so separated from the other restoration companies, and it's a recognizable brand because it is unique. When I got him to that, he realized that now he's the brand ambassador for Voda and loves the name. From talking to franchisees, typically is when Greg sees it or anybody else would get that light bulb and see that there's an opportunity there, that other people are doing it that were like you in other communities where you could set it in your state or city. And that's what Greg saw. So dismissing a brand, it's really important to understand when you're going through the process with us and me, that you have to get to speaking with franchisees and founders. If you don't do that, you're doing yourself a disservice. You'll lose opportunity. You're not going to see it. If you look at brands on surface level and looking at FDDs, you'll never probably buy a business. Quick thing before I tell you where Greg is today. If you're watching this and thinking, I want what Greg has, but you have no idea how to get there, I do this for free. Book a 30-minute call with me. Link is in the description. The franchise companies pay my fee. You pay zero. I only make money when you find the right franchise, not when you just have a meeting. And you get 31 years of franchise experience on the other end of that call. Now back to the video. So that's how Greg got in. Here's what his business looks like today and why this boring industry is exactly what makes it work, especially right now. So last month, Greg did about 160,000. Like I said, one or two on the top of the franchise system. And he's probably, I want to say, 2.5 years in his business. Well, what Greg did right is he's done it full time. That's number one. So a full-time effort breeds a full-time result. And he's leaned on the sales side and not on the operation side of the business. And that's true for any franchise in home services or for retail for that matter. He is directing people, leading teams, and that's what brings you to success. There are a lot of great franchisees in Voda. The bad franchisees, and I was a franchisor for a long time, generally we talked about tapping into personal expenses, not following the system, but it's also doing the jobs or micromanaging in home services, meaning getting up on a roof or if it was Greg's case, mopping up floors or extracting water out. That's what you don't do in franchising or in business. The franchisee has to implement the playbook that the franchisor gives you. However, Greg did it very well and is doing it very well. As long as you follow that playbook, you're going to do extremely well. If you veer off of the playbook, that's when things tend to end poorly. I would say for having a franchise business like this or any home service businesses since COVID have jumped probably 20 to 30%. And I own a company called Junket and Proof. We've done that since then. Greg is another validator that it's happened since, well, he's a little after 2020, but that's where these businesses are recession-proof because there's lots of competition, but it's fragmented. We call them chucks in a truck, and there's tremendous demand. So the franchise systems tend to get instant credibility in their market. People see that they answer the phones. It's a national call center. They do all the marketing for you. A guy shows up in a clean, shiny truck. He does what he says he's going to do. He'll do the job, collect the payment after the job, onto the next job. Voda is a recession-resistant business that will never go away. It's never going to be taken over by AI, Google, or Amazon. It's going to have people. You're going to have to direct them. They have to extract water, fire, or mold. And the reason that it's going to never go away is because those things happen every single day in every part of the world. So Greg's path was the smartest move. There's two reasons. One, he lives life on his terms. That's the biggest. And he buys time back. And instead of getting a W-2, he's got tax advantages, which a W-2 does not have. Owner discretionary income, a W-2 does not have. These things are the reasons why you start a business. Non-sexy businesses tend to make money because the investment is low and usually transactions are high. So it's just mathematics. If average transactions are $5,000-$6,000 and you're investing $150,000 to $200,000, it doesn't take you a long time to get there. If you're opening up a yogurt shop and your average transaction is $10 and your investment is $700, it's going to take you a lot of yogurts to sell to get that money back. So Greg recently came back. Last week, he closed on it for an additional 2 territories on top of the 3 or 4, I believe, he initially purchased. That validates the system and the brand. When people are in the system for a year, 2 years, and come back and buy more, they're doing extremely well. So they want to scale their business even more from where they are. So investing in more territory and franchising matters immensely, specifically in home service brands. because you're getting more population and you're only paying for the initial franchise territory up front for a 10-year agreement. So let's say you buy a second territory for $40,000. That $40,000 is going to be a much better return in your business than keeping that in a bank, an IRA, or 401k. So Greg's day every day looks like, he plays golf a lot, builds relationships on the golf course now. He socializes, take people to lunch for partnership agreements. He directs the team. He's not doing anything on the operations side. That's why he's successful. Driving sales in franchising on a whole, whether it's retail, home services, or B2B, is the most important thing for a leader to do. The best thing that Greg likes the most now is the time he's buying back and the time he can spend with his family instead of traveling and doing the things that he did prior in corporate. Greg was a normal guy. He had no franchise experience. He didn't even like the name of the brand that I showed him initially. And today, he is one of the top operators in the franchise system. If you just got laid off and you're seeing the writing on the wall at your job, or you're sitting there thinking, that could be me, click the link in the description. Book a 30-minute call with me. You'll be talking to the guy who's been a franchisor twice and 31 years in the game and has placed people in their first franchise since 2011. We'll figure out the right brand, the right funding stack, and the right plan for your situation. See you on the call.